There are only 5 kinds of broke people in the world. 5. That's it. And the exact reason you are still struggling with money is hiding inside one of them. A single pattern you have, repeated your whole life, without ever knowing it had a name. Here is the part that should disturb you. Most people name the wrong one. They are convinced they are the honest, hard-working, unlucky type. They are actually something else entirely. And because they never see it, they spend 40 years fighting an enemy that was never the real one. They die still blaming the wrong thing. Niccolò Machiavelli spent his life studying why some men seize power and others are ruled forever. And he understood a truth most people never reach. Weakness is not all the same. The flaw that traps one man would never touch another. Find the true weakness, and the path opens. Mistake it, and you guard the wrong gate while the enemy walks straight through the one you left open. So, as I lay out these 5, watch for the one that stings. Most will slide past you, but one is going to feel like I have been reading your private thoughts. A cold flicker of recognition you would rather not feel. That flicker is your answer. Do not look away from it, because one of these 5 is you. And the 5th, the one almost no one will admit to, is the one quietly destroying the people who are most certain they are fine. Find yourself before the video ends. Most people never do. The first type is the loyal mule. This is the one most people are, and the one almost none of them suspect, because the loyal mule looks like a hero. He works. God, how he works. He is the first one in and the last one out. He carries the loads no one else will touch. He takes real pride in how much weight he can bear, and when he is tired, he does not rest. He doubles down because he believes, with his whole heart, that effort is the price of a good life, and one day it will be repaid. It will not be repaid. That is the trap. The loyal mule has confused being useful with being valuable, and they are not the same thing. A mule is useful. A mule is the most useful animal on the farm, and a mule dies a mule, having made the farmer rich, with nothing to its name but a sore back and the farmer's gratitude, which costs the farmer nothing. Machiavelli watched this in the flesh, with the mercenary captains of Italy, the condottieri, the hardest-working, most brutal fighters on the peninsula. They won wars for the kings of Naples and the popes of Rome. They bled in the mud while the lords slept in palaces. And most ended the same way, discarded, replaced, or quietly killed the moment the war was won, because they owned no land and held no title. They sold their sweat, and when the sweating was done, they had no leverage left. The only ones who escaped were the rare few who stopped being hired muscle and seized a state of their own. The mercenary died a servant. The one who grabbed ownership became a prince. The loyal mule fights for a kingdom that is not his, and calls his exhaustion honor, and cannot understand why honor never turns into wealth. If you feel the sting here, if some part of you is proud of how hard you work, and quietly bitter that it has not paid off, then this is you. And the cure is not to work less. It is to stop confusing the weight you carry with the wealth you keep. So here is what changes tomorrow morning. You do not quit. That is reckless. But you mentally fire yourself from the role of the martyr. You stop volunteering for the extra unpaid project just to hear your boss say good job, because that praise is a drug designed to keep you cheap and keep you carrying. Take the 2 hours of extra effort you have been giving your employer for free and redirect them selfishly toward building one thing with your own name on it, a side business, a portfolio, a rare skill you can sell directly to the market instead of renting to one master. The mule and the farmer work the same hours. Only one of them owns the farm. The second type is the dreamer who never bleeds. If the loyal mule's flaw is too much action with no thought, the dreamer is the exact reverse. All thought, no blood. The dreamer is brilliant, genuinely. He has the ideas. He has read the books. He can explain in dazzling detail exactly how he would build the business, win the market, change his life. He has the whole plan in his head. Perfect, complete, beautiful. He has been almost ready to start it for years, and that is the trap. The plan is perfect precisely because it has never touched reality, never been tested, never been bruised, never had to survive contact with a real customer or a real failure. The dreamer protects the plan by never launching it, because the moment he launches, the perfect plan becomes an imperfect, embarrassing, bleeding thing, and he cannot bear that. So he keeps it safe in his head, where it stays flawless and worthless forever. Florence itself was once destroyed by a dreamer. His name was Piero Soderini, and he ruled the city in Machiavelli's own lifetime. A good man, a brilliant thinker, a man with perfect ideas about how a republic ought to be run. But when the enemy army marched on Florence, Soderini hesitated. He wanted a clean solution, a bloodless one, a perfect one. He kept studying the board while the enemy battered the gates. Machiavelli watched in disgust as Soderini lost the entire city, not because he lacked intelligence, but because he was too in love with the perfect plan to do the ugly, immediate work of fighting back. The dreamer loses his whole future the very same way. Machiavelli had open contempt for this man. He wrote that he had no use for those who imagine kingdoms that have never existed, and that any man who abandons what is actually done for what merely ought to be done is marching toward his own ruin. Fortune, he said, favors the one who acts, not the one who waits for a certainty that never arrives. If you feel the sting here, if you have a brilliant plan you have been refining for a year and have not begun, this is you, and the cure is brutal in its simplicity. Bleed. You have 48 hours to kill your perfectionism. Take the business you have been planning for 2 years, strip away the logo, the website, all the beautiful armor you have been hiding behind, and offer the raw core of it to one real human being by Friday. Do it clumsily. Charge too little. Stumble over your words. Let the market punch you in the mouth. That bruise is the entire point, because the ugly launch thing teaches you more in 1 week than the flawless phantom in your head will teach you in a decade. The third type is the performer. The first two are broke because of what they do. The performer is broke because of what he needs other people to see. And here is what makes this type so cruel. The performer often earns good money. The income comes in, and then it leaves just as fast, because every coin is spent buying the appearance of wealth instead of the substance of it. The car that says he has arrived, the watch that announces his status, the dinners in the right places, in front of the right people. The performer is not buying objects. He is buying glances. He is renting the admiration of strangers by the month, and the rent never stops. This is the most exhausting poverty of all, because it has no finish line. There is always a higher rung of appearance to climb, always someone more impressive to answer to. And so the performer runs his whole life on a treadmill of image, earning and spending, and arrives at 50 with a closet full of status and an empty account. You can see this man all through history. In the courts of Renaissance Europe, there was always the nobleman who drained his own estate to buy the finest silk and the gilded armor, purely to be seen standing near the king. He spent the real source of his power, his land, his gold, to purchase the mere appearance of power. And again, within a generation, families like his were ruined, their lands quietly bought up by unflashy merchants who cared nothing for being seen and everything for what they owned. Machiavelli understood this weakness as well as any man who ever lived. He wrote that the great majority of mankind are satisfied with appearances, as though they were realities, and are moved more by the things that seem than by the things that are. The performer has handed control of his money to an audience that is not even watching as closely as he imagines. If you feel the sting here, if you spend to be seen, if the thought of looking poor frightens you more than the thought of being poor, this is you. And the cure requires a kind of ego death. Starting today, freeze every purchase designed to be seen by others. Here is the test, and it is merciless. If you cannot enjoy the car without posting it, you cannot afford the car. If you cannot eat at the restaurant without making sure people know you are there, you are not buying food. You are buying advertising for a company that earns you nothing. So go dark, wear the plain clothes. Let the old crowd whisper that maybe you have fallen off. The ability to endure the judgment of broke people while you quietly stack real capital is one of the rarest powers a person can develop. Learn to feel the reward in the rising balance of an account no one can see, not in the validation of an audience that will vanish the moment you stop paying for it. The fourth type is the gambler, and the gambler is the mirror image of the mule, just as broke, from the opposite direction. The mule fears risk and dies safe. The gambler worships risk and dies broke. He is always one move away from everything. The scheme that will finally hit, the bet that will change it all, the coin, the flip, the long shot. He does not want to build slowly. Building is for the timid in his mind. He wants the leap, the explosion, the overnight transformation. And every time a bet fails, he does not retreat and rethink. He doubles, because the next one surely is the one. The trap is that the gambler has mistaken motion for strategy and adrenaline for progress. He feels alive inside the risk and confuses that feeling with being close to success. But he is not building anything. He is feeding a hunger that can never be filled, because the thrill is the real prize, not the wealth. And so the moment he wins, he throws the winnings at something bigger until the day the dice turn cold and take everything. Machiavelli wrote about the most spectacular gambler of his age, Cesare Borgia, a man who rose to terrifying power almost overnight with the boldest schemes the age had ever seen. But Borgia's entire empire was built on a single roll of the dice, the fact that his father was the Pope. When his father died, suddenly and at the worst possible moment, Borgia's whole empire collapsed within months. He had staked everything on the favor of fortune, and the instant fortune turned its face away, the most feared man in Italy was left with nothing. Machiavelli admired his boldness, but drew the cold lesson all the same. The man who depends on luck rises and falls the moment luck decides to leave. He praised the man who prepares, who builds his own foundations, who relies least on fortune and most on his own ability. The gambler relies on fortune alone, and fortune always, eventually, blinks. If you feel the sting here, if you are forever chasing the one big hit and never building the patient, boring thing underneath it, this is you. And the cure is the hardest thing in the world for a gambler to hear. Get boring. Force yourself to endure boredom the way you currently chase the thrill. Take that aggressive energy you pour into finding the next hack, the next leveraged bet, the next lottery ticket coin, and redirect it into a 5-year plan you are not allowed to abandon. Put your money into things that move slowly and compound quietly. Build a business that runs on dull daily operations instead of one viral miracle. And when the itch comes, the itch to make the huge, dangerous bet, recognize it for exactly what it is, an addict reaching for a hit. Starve that addict. Feed the fortress instead. And now the fifth. The fifth is the one almost no one will admit to, because admitting it means admitting that you, the person who feels above all of this, are the one in the most danger. The fifth type is the comfortable. The comfortable is not desperate. That is exactly why he is the most trapped of all. He has a job that pays the bills, a life that works more or less. He is not in pain. He is not behind on rent. He is fine. And that single word, fine, is the softest and most permanent prison ever built. Because the other 4 types feel something. The mule feels bitter. The dreamer feels restless. The performer feels the pressure. The gambler feels the burn. Pain, at least, is a signal that something is wrong, and a signal can move a man to change. The comfortable feels nothing. No alarm, no fire. No reason to risk the steady, pleasant, slowly suffocating life he already has. And so he changes nothing, year after year, until the years are simply gone. This is why the comfortable is the most dangerous of all, and why he hides inside the costume of success. He looks to himself and to everyone around him like a man who is doing well. He is not failing, but he is not building either. He is drifting comfortably down a river whose current he never chose, toward an ending he never decided on. And he will not notice until it is far too late to swim back. History buried an entire civilization of comfortable men. Before the year 1494, the city-states of Italy were the envy of the world. wealthy, cultured, dominant, at peace. And so they grew soft. They stopped training their armies. They stopped repairing their walls. They spent their days on politics and art and pleasure, certain the good times were permanent. Then the King of France brought 30,000 men over the Alps, and he did not so much conquer Italy as walk through it. It was said he took the country with chalk, his officers simply marking the doors of the houses where his soldiers would sleep, city after city, because there was almost no one left who remembered how to resist. Comfort had made them soft, and soft made them prey. Machiavelli lived through that humiliation and drew the coldest lesson of his life from it. He warned that men do not feel the danger in calm weather, and that the only time to build your defenses is precisely when nothing seems to threaten you. The comfortable man waits for the storm to force him to act, but when the storm comes, it arrives too late, and finds him with no walls built, no skills sharpened, no wealth set aside, having spent his one safe decade doing nothing because nothing forced him to. If you are the comfortable, understand this. You are living in 1493. The economy is shifting. The technology is shifting. The job that feels permanent today is a chalk mark waiting to be made. The French army is already moving toward the Alps, and you are sitting in a comfortable chair, believing you are safe, because today's bills are paid. So your cure is the strangest of all five. You must manufacture a crisis before reality manufactures one for you. Introduce stress into a life that has gone dangerously smooth. Force yourself to live on a fraction of your income and aggressively invest the rest, as though a pay cut were already coming. Force yourself to learn a hard, valuable, future-proof skill in your own hours, as though your job were being eliminated next month. Because one day it will be. You must become your own predator and hunt your own comfort before the world sends a predator to do it for you. And if you felt no sting at the first four, if you sat there thinking none of these are really me, I'm doing okay, then stop, right now. Because that calm you are feeling is not proof that you are free. It is the fifth type, speaking in your own voice. So, you have met all five. The loyal mule, who confuses being useful with being rich. The dreamer, who protects a perfect plan by refusing to bleed for it. The performer, who spends his fortune renting the eyes of strangers. The gambler, who mistakes the thrill of the leap for the building of a life. And the comfortable, who feels nothing, and so does nothing, and so drifts toward a storm he refuses to see. By now, one of them is sitting in your chest. You felt the flicker. You know which one it was, even if you do not want to say it aloud. And very often, the type you most want to argue against is the one you are. Here is what Machiavelli understood that almost no one does. Naming the weakness is most of the battle. The mule fights the wrong enemy by working harder. The dreamer fights it by planning more. The performer fights it by earning more to spend more. The gambler fights it by betting bigger. The comfortable does not fight at all. Every one of them is guarding the wrong gate, pouring an entire life into the solution to a problem they never correctly named. You no longer have that excuse. You have the name now. And the cure for each type is never more of what already failed. It is the opposite of your own nature. The mule must learn to own, not just labor. The dreamer must learn to bleed, not just think. The performer must learn to disappear, not perform. The gambler must learn to be patient, not thrilled. And the comfortable, hardest of all, must learn to build his own fire, to move before the storm forces him, while he still has the time that comfort is quietly stealing. Tonight, do one thing. Say the name out loud, whichever of the five lit up in you. Name it plainly, with no excuse attached. Because the weakness you can name is the weakness you can finally fight. And the one you refuse to name will guard its own gate, in the dark, for the rest of your life. Most people who watch this will not name it. They will feel the flicker, look away, and tell themselves they are the unlucky one, the honest one, the one who just needs a little more time. And in a year, they will be sitting exactly here again. You are going to be different. You have seen all five gates now. You know which one you left open. Go and close it.